He rides the 125cc machine.
You have seen the track yesterday. What do you think about it?
It's pretty good. I like the sand. It's starting to get a little bit rougher, and I think it's going to be a pretty good race, you know, for everybody today on Sunday.
Everybody is expecting a fight between you and Stefan Everts. What are you expecting about it?
I think it's going to be a race against me and probably a few other guys. You know, it depends. You know, we might not even see each other through the whole moto, or we might be right behind each other. It depends how the 500s do, or the 250s do. You know, if there's some guys in between us, but you know, there's some other guys that are going really fast too. You know, he's not the only one we need to worry about.
Wat denk je? Kun je Stefan Everts aan?
This is Pedro Trachter, the Dutch champion, third in the World Championship. Does he think he can beat Everts, the world champion from Belgium? And Pedro thinks he can do it.
Wie dan de beste is.
En Mike Kiedrowski, wat denk je daarvan?
And what does he think about Kiedrowski?
Kiedrowski is ook een hele goede rijder, ook in de zand. En,
he's good in the sand.
Gisteren reed hij 2 seconden langzamer als mij.
But he was in practice 2 seconds slower.
Als hij er ook goed bij zit met de start, dat hij ook goed mee kan draaien.
But the start is decisive.
Wat vind je van het circuit?
Ik vind het een prachtig circuit.
And then the world champion,
heel goed voor de
Stefan Everts.
team.
He loves it.
Ik denk dat we een hele goede kans maken vandaag om de overwinning
And you can see in his face
Wie zijn jullie
that he
grootste
thinks
concurrenten?
that he is the
de
favorite.
Nederlanders en de Amerikanen zijn de grootste.
He thinks the Dutch and the Americans
Er zijn de 5 beste resultaten.
will be
We zullen zien. Hè.
the teams to
You
beat.
have been on the track now. What do you think about it?
The track's very hard for the English riders, but I think we're all coping very well. It's pretty deep sand. It's very rough, but it's quite technical also.
What do you expect for the British team?
I think we all expect to have a good result. There are so many strong teams here that I think if we finish in the top 4, then we've done very well. But obviously we'd like to be in the top 3, so we're trying for top 3.
Sie haben die Strecke gesehen. Was denken Sie davon?
And then the German champion.
Ich bin eigentlich sehr zufrieden hier mit der Strecke. Und gut, wir tun
He
uns
likes the
etwas schwer
track.
in Sand, aber ich denke, dass wir ein gutes Team sind und
And he thinks that the Germans will do well today.
Is dat goed voor die, dat Sand?
Ja, ich habe normalerweise immer Probleme gehabt in Sand, aber ich glaube, dieses Mal haben wir...
He has had many problems in the sand,
Ich glaube,
but the
dass
track is a little bit special and he thinks he'll do well.
Was denken Sie für jede Team von Deutschland?
Ja, ich denke, dass wir vielleicht unter den ersten 6 sind.
He hopes to be with the 6 first teams, the Germans.
Dritter oder Vierter.
You have seen the track yesterday. What do you think about
And
it?
then flying Finn Pekka
Really
Väkkönen.
difficult. They have put a lot of water on us, many spores and fast. It's not so easy.
What do you think for your country? What place can you make?
I think we have good chance, you know. In Finnish riders are good in sand, and now this year we have a strong team. We try to get top 3.
Now
So,
for yourself,
he
what
is
place
full of
do you
hopes.
think you can make?
I think I try to make first place, but it's not so easy. But I think if everything is going well, start, I can maybe chance to do it.
So the 500cc riders are on the front line. And then on the second line it's the 125cc riders. So 2 riders per nation. The coaches can decide who they want to be on the first line, but most of the coaches took the 500cc bikes there. Of course, they are faster away from the starting gate than the 125cc colleagues. With 2 classes you will have 2 results, and 3 motos altogether will bring 6 results. And it is from Sweden with number 7, Marcus Hansson, who takes the lead. And that's a surprise. And where are the Dutch and the Americans? The Dutch are pretty good away with Gert-Jan van Doorn, number 14, on the 500cc. Normally he rides a 250. He has number 14. Behind him, number 4, Geukens. And then 2 places behind them, it is the American Jeff Stanton. So the Dutch, from the favorite teams, are leading the 500cc class. But of course, also important are the riders in the 125cc class. Marcus Hansson takes the lead. Behind him, Roland Diepbold with number 23 from Germany. And then Van Doorn there in 4th position. At the back wheel of number 29, Kurt Lundqvist from Finland. So it's Sweden, Germany, then Finland, then Holland. And then it is number 17, Paul Marlin from Great Britain, who takes 5th position. We can see this again. So there on the left side it's Van Doorn, and on the inside it is Paul Marlin. And then Jeff Stanton, who overtakes there Dirk Geukens from Belgium. Geukens also a very good rider, so Stanton is moving forwards. But then where is the first 125cc rider, number 6 there, and that is Stefan Everts in 10th position. Everts, the first 125cc rider. Diepbold, then Van Doorn in 3rd position. Now we go back to the leaderboard, then Marlin, and then number 1, Jeff Stanton. But before these riders, you will have the number 7, which is Marcus Hansen. Dirk Geukens here in 7th position, the Belgium 500cc rider. And with Stefan Everts right behind him, the 125cc rider, Belgium is already coming forward in the classifications, it looked like. So Sweden is leading the 500cc class. That was Marcus Hansen. And then behind him, it is Gert-Jan van Doorn. So Holland already in 2nd position. Then Diepbold, that is the German. And behind him it is number 1 and then number 17. No, 17, Paul Marlin comes back. He is from Great Britain. So Great Britain is 4th in the 500cc and the USA is 5th. You can see it again in this long shot. So Hansen is first, Sweden. Then from Holland in 2nd position, number 14, Van Doorn. And then behind him, it is Paul Marlin already, number 17 here in 3rd position. And the American, Jeff Stanton, in 4th position. Then in 7th position, the Belgians. Britain before the USA. 3rd and 4th they are. Germany's dropped back to 5th and Finland to 6th position. But then the 125cc in the middle of your screen with the red and yellow, it is Stefan Everts, the world champion this year on the 125cc class. And he is really doing well. In 10th position already. Overall, but leading the 125cc class. And this is the leader overall and, of course, at the same time, the 500cc class. Then we're waiting for Van Doorn. No, it is Marlin who comes through. And then it is with number 1, Stanton, the American. So Britain is already 2nd. USA is 3rd and Holland dropped back from 2nd till 4th position. Very strong rider, the man with number 1. We can see that later. Number 7, that is Marcus Hansen. He is leading. And we wait for the man behind him. Van Doorn in 4th position from Holland. And one of the lower numbers, 34, Jure Lohman from Luxembourg is already retiring. And then the attack for 1st position. Marcus Hansen very closely followed by Paul Marlin. Paul Marlin, who did so well in the 500cc class in the World Championship this year. But Hansen normally rides the 250, so it's a big surprise here. The Swede is still leading. But watch in the back there. It is Jeff Stanton, the 250cc champion of the USA, who goes on the outside and takes the lead. A fantastic maneuver there from 3rd to 1st. Jeff Stanton on the Honda. And again, we have to point out it's remarkable that the 250cc riders are suddenly doing so well in the 500cc class. So Stanton normally rides a 250, he is leading. Behind him, with number 17, it is Paul Marlin from England. And then another 250cc rider, number 7, Marcus Hansen from Sweden. And another 250cc rider, who now is on a 500 machine, is number 14, Gert-Jan van Doorn from Holland. Here he is, number 14. Normally he races the 250s. He's overtaking some of the slower riders already. So the Dutch in 4th position and the Belgians in 5th position. Geukens is slowly coming back. And then Paul Marlin falls down. He was in 2nd position. So where is Hansen? Some riders point to the outside. There is Marcus Hansen. So he regains second position. And poor Marlin has a problem getting his bike started. We're nearly 20 minutes away. And then with number 6 there, Steven Everts on the Suzuki. Steven Everts, the world champion. So number 4 is chasing the number 14, the Belgium team. But we are waiting, of course, for young Everts. How far can he get ahead of the other riders? And then we see another surprise, then number 17 from England, Paul Marlin, in 4th position, followed by Dirk Geukens. So Marcus Hansen there with number 7, he is in 2nd position. Behind him, it is the Dutchman. Gert-Jan van Doorn with number 14. But the leader is this man with number 1, Jeff Stanton. And Jeff Stanton, he takes the checkered flag. And then we're waiting for the man in 2nd position. That was Marcus Hansen, 3rd Van Doorn, 4th Paul Marlin, and 5th Dirk Geukens. That is the 500cc classification. And because of the 1st place of Stanton in the 500 and the 4th of Kiedrowski, they are in 1st position, equal with the Dutch, who took a 2nd and a 3rd position at the finish line. Stanton, on his back, is happy.
It went okay. I mean, bad start, not so good start, but came through and got in the front and did what I could.
No difficult on the way in the heat?
I mean, there's always a little difficult, but not so bad.
And then, together with the spectators, we have to wait for the 2nd motor, which we will screen later, after the messages, which will be given by some of the stations which do have commercial television. We're back in Valensvaard for the 2nd moto, and this time it will be the 250 and the 125cc motorcycles who will race the 2nd moto. In the front line, most of the 250cc bikes, and again the 125s behind them. With number 11 there on the front row, it is world champion Alessandro Puzzar from Italy. He was world champion last year. This year it was Trampus Parker from the USA, but he is not racing because the USA decided to send out Damon Bradshaw with number 2 to fight for their colors. It is number 8 who takes the lead. Again a Swede, and again a surprise. Peter Johansson, 4th in the World Championship this year. So he takes the lead. But not for long, because after the first real bend it is number 30, Pekka Vekkonen from Finland. And then Marnik Barefoots, we saw there with number 5 from Belgium. And then on the right side there with number 6, Steven Everts, the world champion, who won the first heat for the 125cc. So this is a very difficult race for the 125cc riders, who have been racing and only were allowed 45 minutes to rest. Damon Bradshaw comes through to 3rd position there, the number 2 from America. And the Americans are quite confident. There is Damon Bradshaw with number 2. But there are still riders in front of him. Yes, number 11, Alessandro Puzzar. Then 8 and 15, Edwin Evertsen from Holland in 5th position, and he falls down. the Dutchman goes down. The Dutchman, one of the favorites for this race. And let's see, there is Everts who passes him on the 125cc. Pedro Trachter from Holland on the 125cc, very close with him. Pekka Vekkonen from Finland is leading. On the right side it is Putzar, but he's in third because Damon Bradshaw comes through to second position. So Bradshaw lives up to the expectations. Vekkonen, then Bradshaw, and behind him it is Alessandro Putzar from Italy. So the Dutch and the Belgians are missing. Maybe we can see better at this shot where they are. There is Sweden, and then Belgium in fifth position, Marnik Barefoots. And the Dutchman Edwin Evertsen, he fell down as we have seen. In seventh position, great deck for Australia. And then there is already, with number 6, Evers, who is already in 10th position overall. And behind him, 2 riders behind him, it's Kiedrowski. And behind Kiedrowski, it is the Dutch rider Trachter. This is the Swedish rider, number 9, Carlsson. But at the end of the pack, of course, there's a lot of riders who are not really used to sand riding, like these people are. Most of them are the men who are doing so well in the World Championship. Barefoots there comes through to Johansson. Barefoots, who was 5th in the World Championship, now 4th in the race. And behind him, Johansson, the Swede, who was 4th in the World Championship, now in 5th position. Vekkonen just out of the screen for Finland in the lead. Then it is Damon Bradshaw, and then we see Alessandro Putzar. Putzar followed by Marnik Barefoots from Belgium, Johansson from Sweden. And then number 36, Jan Gedar from France. Then on the right side it is Evertsen, the world champion and leader in the 125cc. 3 places behind him there, number 15, the man who fell for Holland, Edwin Evertsen on the 250cc machine. And right behind him it is number 3 for the United States, it is Kiedrowski. So Evertsen should do well on this track, and we see if he can make this lost ground up. But in front of him are the best riders of the world, like Vekkonen with number 30 and Bradshaw with number 2 from the USA. Bradshaw closing the gap. And then it's Marnik Barefoots already in 3rd position. Belgium moves to 3rd position. He's overtaken the Italian Alessandro Putzar, the world champion from last year. And Barefoots is doing well. So Belgium right behind the United States in the 250cc class. And we explained this to you. There's another fight for the 125cc class. Bradshaw at the back wheel there of number 30, Finnish Pekka Vekkonen. Already 3 years he was 2nd in the World Championship. Never made it to World Champion. But definitely one of the best riders in the world. Pekka Vekkonen with number 30. And Bradshaw cannot overtake him. Bradshaw really doing well here on his Yamaha. The same like Vekkonen. And there is the attack from Bradshaw. Goes to the outside, but no. Very late braking there of the Finn. He keeps 2nd position. So the American has to be satisfied with the 2nd spot. And behind them should then come number 5. Marnik Barefoots from Belgium. We see the flags already waving, so he can't be very far away. Vekkonen and Kiedrowski, and there is Barefoots. Oh, what a fantastic ride from this Belgium rider. And then it is Putzar and then Peter Johansson. Some of the finest motocross riders here together, 5 of them at this track in Valensvaard. 25,000 spectators around it. And Vekkonen still holds the lead. Already a battle for several laps. Vekkonen, Bradshaw, and then very close by now, indeed the number 5 there, Marnik Barefoots. What a sight to see. And there is Bradshaw. He is through. He takes the lead. Bradshaw takes the lead, the American. The Finn in 2nd position and then Marnik barefoots. They come to the hairpin. All of them cleaned their glasses. Look at the different riding styles. Putzar still in 4th position. And look at the 125cc. Here is Everts. Behind him still the Dutch on the 250. But where is Kiedrowski? Nowhere to be seen. And then barefoots. He'll be going there for the fin. And you can hear the spectators. Many Belgian motocross fans came to Valensvaard. Of course, it's not too far away. Last year the Belgians were 2nd. Will they be able to beat the Americans this time? Barefoots there. Takes the inside line. No. Vekkonen is a tough customer. And then the long straight, where it is possible to overtake. Yes, barefoots. Opens up, goes to the inside. Very clever move. And he will be on the inside of the corner now. And indeed he takes 2nd position. Vekkonen is 3rd. Putzar is 4th. But the American is still leading. But the Belgian team now have a 1st place in the 125cc with number 6. We should be coming soon. Steven Everts. And they have 2nd position for Marnik barefoots. And then Putzar. At the back wheel there already of Vekkonen. So Vekkonen led for a very long time, nearly 20 of the 30 minutes of this heat. But he's now in 3rd position and chased there by the Italian. Putzar with number 11. Very difficult to overtake at this part of the track. His best bit will be when they go down, turn right. And then they have the left turn. And then the long straight. That's where barefoots overtook. And also Damon Bradshaw overtook. So there is Putzar. See what he learned from barefoots. Yes, he also takes the inside line and is through. So Alessandro Putzar on the Suzuki. He is in 3rd position. Vekkonen is 4th. And behind him it's the Swede Peter Johansson in 5th position. But America is still leading. Bradshaw. 20 meters behind him, it is Marnik barefoots from Belgium. And then number 3, number 4 and number 5 in this race. Very close racing and a lot of excitement here for the spectators. Peter Johansson, 5th from Sweden. His teammate is not doing too bad. Joachim Karlsson. These are the leaders. Putzar takes some distance from Vekkonen. And Johansson now is at the back wheel of Pekka Vekkonen. A Finn and a Swede. 2 Nordic racers. And then the attack from Johansson. No, too far away. Putzar a little bit in trouble. And Johansson still behind the Finn. Who will be in 6th position? It is Godard from France. And then in 8th position already, the unlucky Dutchman who fell down, Edwin Evertsen. He really must have been motoring because there is Steven Everts, and Steven Everts is leading the 125cc class. Number 24 behind him, Jochen Jasinski from Germany. But we wait for the 2nd man in the 125cc class. It should be either number 3, the American Kiedrowski. Yes, he went through there. But right behind him there, 1 man between them is number 16, Pedro Trachter, the Dutch champion. Fast man in practice. We go back to the lead of the 250s. It is America versus Belgium. Bradshaw nearly losing it. On the left side, the American Bradshaw, and then the man with number 5, Marnik Barefoots, right behind him. The Belgian rider, number 5, had an operation at his lower arms because the blood didn't take away the poison which is coming when you're racing at this top level. So he opened up the skin of his muscles. He won the first Grand Prix this year, the 250cc in Holland, and at the end of the season he's still in good shape. And then Kiedrowski followed here by Pedro Trachter. So Pedro Trachter here in 3rd position, right behind the American in 2nd position. But this is the man who's leading the 125cc, Steven Everts. We go back to the 250cc. We hope that you can follow this. It is Bradshaw, number 2, followed by number 5, Marnik Barefoots. So each of the 25 nations have one rider in the 250cc class and one rider in the 125cc class. They're racing at the same time. And here we see the lead for the 250s. Damon Bradshaw with number 2 from America. And number 5, Marnik Barefoots, the champion of Belgium. And there is the attack. Yes, Barefoots, very brave heart. Choose exactly the right moment, and Belgium is leading now the 250cc class before America. And the same applies for the 125cc class, where number 6, Steven Everts, is leading before the number 3, Kiedrowski from America. We know it is exciting, and we're sorry. We're going for a break, but we'll be back with more action of this second moto of the Motocross the Nations in Valensvaard, Holland. And we're back for the 3rd part of our report of the Motocross the Nations 1991. This is the man who is in 2nd position in the 125cc class, Mike Kiedrowski. In front of him it is the number 6, Steven Everts for Belgium, and behind him it is number 16, Pedro Trachter from Holland. The battle in the 125cc class. Everts there on the back with number 6. And here is the battle for 2nd position between the number 3 in the middle of the screen and behind him the Dutch with number 16. In the 250s, the Belgians are leading the Americans and the Dutch are in approximately 6th position, while they were very far way back after the tumble which the number 15 of Holland, Edwin Evertsen, took. With number 46, one of the Japanese riders, 16 years old, Takayo Ogishima. We're in the last lap, and on the right side we see the leader of the race, number 5, Marnik Barefoots from Belgium, followed by Damon Bradshaw from United States of America. But there is number 6, and number 3 is right behind him. Steven Everts is followed there by Kiedrowski with only 20 meters between the two of them, and Pedro Trachter is not there anymore. The finish is there. Barefoots takes a win for Belgium. Behind him in 2nd position it is Damon Bradshaw. In 3rd position it must be Alessandro Puzzar. Yes, with number 11, here he comes. And then in 4th position, Peter Johansson and Edwin Evertsen from Holland managed to get into 5th position after he fell in the 1st lap. And the standings after 4 heats now is that Belgium is leading with 8 points out of 4 results. The USA is 2nd, Holland is 3rd, and Sweden is 4th. The manager of the Belgium team. Johnny Strybos, he is very happy. They had 3 first places, twice for Everts and 1 for Barefoots. But there are 2 more races to go. So maybe Barefoots, the winner of the 250, will be too tired. So the Belgian coach is afraid that number 4, Dirk Geukens, is maybe too nervous because of the politics when he chooses the team. But he hopes it will be better. And this is the winner of the second moto, Marnik Barefoots. Well, I followed the American and watched where he made the mistakes. He is known that he doesn't have a good condition, so I attacked at the end. And I won. And he hopes he can do it again in the second moto, of course. World champion Steven Everts. Winner twice of the 125cc class on the Suzuki. He says only the best were able to keep the pace, and I was the best today.
Dan het Nederlands team, als het tussen die twee gaat.
But if Belgium doesn't do well, he hopes that the Dutch will be the world champions in motocross. Because this is a world championship for the teams. Okay, we got the last race of the day. The participants are the 250s and the 500. Puzzar again in first spot, behind him Bartolini with number 10. So the Italians are on the inside. The third moto, 4 seconds to go, and away they are. In the first 2 motos, the Swedes were the best starters. And it looks like it's again a Swede. Yes, number 7, Marcus Hansen. Like in the first moto, he is away fastest. Both Belgian riders are with the first 10. We will have their number 4 and number 5, so they're with the first 10. And the Americans were not away so good. So this can be an exciting race. Leader is Hansen. And then we watch for the Belgians. 5, 6, 7 riders. No Belgians there. Something must have happened. Something must have happened. No, there is the second Dutch rider and still no Belgian riders. And they definitely were with the first 10. Incredible, what has happened? Paul Marlin there, the Briton, here in 5th position. He overtakes Diephold, the German. Paul Marlin, who also did well in the first moto. Leading is the Swede, Marcus Hansen, normally on a 250cc bike in the World Championship, but here elected for his country to ride the 500. And Van Doorn, with number 14 in 2nd position, number 1 is already in 3rd position, which is the American. There is Evertsen with number 15, and still no Belgian riders. This must be heartbreaking for the Belgian fans. Van Doorn there in 2nd position. And then it is one of the Danes, number 38. Followed by, and we shouldn't be surprised if this was, number 30. It's Pekka Vekkonen. Vekkonen, and at his back wheel it is number 11, Puzzar. So this is the leaders, these are the leaders we should say, in a 250cc class. And Marnik Barefoots is way back. The men who won the first moto, so Sweden and Holland, they are away. And this could mean, since there's no Americans around, that Holland could become world champion if they would keep it this way. Van Doorn there in 2nd position, and also Evertsen is doing very, very well. He is with the 3rd position of the 250cc's. Well, we watch Paul Marlin there, number 17. This is the first American. Jeff Stanton with number 1. But he is way back. He is nearly a quarter of a mile behind the leaders. Mortensen there from Denmark in 3rd position. And then behind him it's the 250 riders, Vekkonen and Puzzar. 3rd and 4th in this 2nd moto in their respective class. And Van Doorn there in 2nd position. He keeps the hope of the Dutch very high. But Marcus Hansen still leading for the Swedes, then the Dutch, then the Danish team. And then Jeff Stanton with number 1. He didn't have a good start. Had some sort of a fall. Will he be able to come back? We see the Dane made a little mistake there, and immediately Vekkonen came into 3rd position at this race. And then with number 2, we saw also Damon Bradshaw, the American on the 250, coming back. He's already in 5th position. And then the American on the 500cc, Jeff Stanton, and no Belgians. Yes, they are there. Dirk Heukens. No, Marnik Barefoots, of course, with number 5. Where is Dirk Heukens? Barefoots, 6th in the 250cc class. Walter Bartolini on the 4-stroke for Italy. Dirk Heukens there, number 4 for Belgium. He fell for a 2nd time, and this ruins definitely the hopes from the Belgians to become world champion. He will, of course, be flying, Heukens, and you can see the cheers of the Dutch for Van Doorn. This is hard racing. Another Dutchman in 3rd position, Edwin Evertsen, there, and he's behind James Dobb, who's racing for England. James Dobb, he is 3rd in the 250cc class at this 3rd moto, and then Evertsen right behind him. Evertsen, who fell in the 1st moto and therefore ruined the chances for the Dutch team, although he became 5th after a breathtaking ride. Peter Johansson calls it a day, so Sweden will not be in such a good position as they were last year. And there Van Doorn, still 2nd in the 500. He is chased there by the lighter 250cc machines, and the 250cc machines, of course, are better to handle in this heavy sand circuit. So this is the man who's leading. Then it is Vekkonen, Van Doorn and Putzar. Behind them Dobb and Evertsen. So 4 riders on the 250cc machine with the first 6 in this race. Putzar is 3rd in this race, but he is 2nd in the 250cc. And there is the attack from the flying Finn, Vekkonen. He takes the inside, and he is not only 1st in the 250cc, he is also 1st in this moto. But remember, there's 2 different classifications, and Vekkonen nearly loses it there. Ooh, you must have a big heart to survive such a nearly crash. So Vekkonen is leading. Then it's the Swede who is leading his 500cc class, and then behind him the Italian Alessandro Putzar. He is 3rd in this race, but he is 2nd in the 250cc class. And then suddenly with number 15, 3rd in the 250cc class, it is Evertsen, and then this is Van Doorn. So the 2 Dutch are now 2nd in the 500 and 3rd in the 250s. Putzar has overtaken Hansen, but that doesn't mean anything for the classification. And Bartolini there between them with number 10, but he is a lap rider. Evertsen there in 3rd position on the 250s. And behind him it's James Dobb. And behind them it is the American Damon Bradshaw in 5th position. Here we see Evertsen, number 15. He has to try to overtake the number 11. The number 7 doesn't count for his class. And here we have the lead battle. Evertsen on the left side there, comes on the inside of the Swede. And now he will be able to go for the back wheel of Pekka Vekkonen, who is 2nd. So Edwin Evertsen, 3rd in the 250cc class. and the leaders, number 30 and number 11. Putzar still second and Vekkonen still first. Vekkonen and Putzar. And then behind him Evertsen and James Dobb. Another fallen rider, and it is harder to stay on the machines. It is definitely more difficult to stay on the machines. Van Dorn, second in the 500cc class. But where are the Americans? Here is Bradshaw. He is fifth in the 500cc class. But where is the number one, Jeff Stanton? And we see there that number 11 has overtaken number 30. So Putzar is leading. He's overtaken Vekkonen. And there the number 15, Evertsen on the right side. Behind him, James Dobb. Then it's the 500cc machines for Hansen and for Van Dorn. Number 7, the Swede, and the Dutchman right behind them. But you can see they are tiring. The pace is tremendously high for these heavy machines. Takeshi Tabuchi, one of the Japanese riders. Marlin helps him, and he goes down for a second time. He learns what it means to eat the sand. All the way from Japan. And the Japanese will definitely be one of the strong nations in motocross, not before too long. We'll see the finish of the race after the break in this program. So we're back in Valensvaard for the Motocross the Nations, the third and decisive moto. And we start with the riders in the 500cc class. Number 14 on the right side of your screen, he just left the screen, is leading. Van Dorn from Holland. He's just overtaking the number 7, Hansen, Marcus Hansen from Sweden. So the Dutch do have a first position now. The battle, however, for the championship is between the American team and the Belgium team. The Dutch are doing well in this moto, but they had a 5th place for Evertsen in the second moto, and that probably will cost them the championship. Evertsen, we see him here, is 3rd in this last moto. Leader, we just see him leave there, is Alessandro Putzar from Italy. 2nd is number 30 for Finland, Pekka Vekkonen. And then it is the Dutchman, who is chased by James Dobb from England. But the Englishman is tiring. And then we see the battle for first position in the 500cc. The Swede takes the inside, sweeps the Dutchman to the outside, and Marcus Hansen is leading. And then we saw number 2 there also, Damon Bradshaw, the American, who is in 5th position in the 250cc class. Here he is, Damon Bradshaw. He wasn't there from the beginning, but fought his way back. And another American there, Jeff Stanton, one of the last riders because he fell down after 2 laps, and he did a remarkable race. He is closing the gap between the leaders, so he has been overtaking more than 20 nations, the best riders of 20 nations in the 500cc class. Hansen there with number 7 falls down. He was the leader, so now Van Dorn is the leader again. Bradshaw, the number 2, is trying to come forward and score more points for the Americans. Hansen He fell down, so he must be out of his rhythm. And in front of him, it is the American on the 250cc machine. But of course, more important for the standings, it is to know where is the man with number 1, where is Jeff Stanton. Van Doorn is still leading. You see, he is having a problem because Damon Bradshaw overtakes him. Now, of course, it is easier to ride with a 250cc machine than with a 500. And there is Stanton. Stanton not too far behind, overtaking there the number 26, which is Søren Mortensen from Denmark, who was in 3rd position of the 500cc. And Stanton storms through and comes there to Hansen, who had just fallen down and has a problem to keep the pace. Hansen there with a painful knee, which he hurt in practice, and he loses a position to Jeff Stanton. Only Van Doorn, the Dutchman with number 14, is in front of the American. Incredible race there of Jeff Stanton. Already many times US Supercross and outdoor champion. Of course, this year he was beaten by Jean-Michel Bayle in Supercross in the United States. Bayle, the Frenchman, who beat the Americans on their home ground. Now this is the leader of the 500cc class. This is the man who is in 2nd position. And between them is the American with number 1. There he is, Jeff Stanton. Fantastic race of this man. Hansen tries to keep up with the leaders, but it's impossible. And there is the attack from Stanton, and look how he takes the lead of the 500cc class. And this makes it sure for the Americans. They will win again this Motocross the Nations, because the Belgians are nowhere to be seen. In the meantime, Poutsard is leading the 250cc class. But of course, that is not really important. Important is the battle between the Americans and the Americans. And there is with number 2, Damon Bradshaw, followed by the number 1. Damon Bradshaw going into the last lap. No, it is Poutsard already who takes the checkered flag at the finish line. And there is Damon Bradshaw, followed by the number 1, Jeff Stanton. Vekkonen finishes 2nd in this moto in the 250s. Then it is the Dutchman, Evertsen, who comes in 3rd. So Poutsard only proves here that he is still a very good racer. But there on the right side, you can see Stanton, who overtook his teammate. And we see here that the first 4 are 250cc riders, and Jeff Stanton is the first 500cc rider. So after 6 motos, the USA should be world champion, Holland 2nd and Belgium 3rd. But everybody has to take 5 races into account. So when we deduct the worst race out of the 6 races of each nation, we can have a new standings. And then we can see that America or Belgium will be world champion. The team manager from Belgium, Strijbos, knows it already. And behind him walks Roger de Koster. He comes to his country fellow man, and we see that indeed the USA takes the world championship again. They win the Motocross the Nations before Belgium, Holland, Sweden and Great Britain. A fantastic race day in Valensvaard.
Goeie start, daarna iets teruggevallen. Hoe ging het?
Ja, ik sta er 2 achter die Zweed.
Van Doorn and Luke.
2 keer voorbij op een gegeven moment en hij
He doesn't have much life left in him after these 2 motos. He's given it all.
Ik kon hem niet houden de laatste ronde.
But then he said Stanton was too strong for me.
Wat voor gevoel had je toen je teamgenoot voorbij kwam?
Nou, ik liet hem voorbij natuurlijk, want ik zat 2. Of ik zat er bijvoorbeeld 1 op dat moment. En ik moest hem doorlaten, dan kon hij natuurlijk zijn plaats nog verbeteren. En ik zat al goed.
Voor de rest, het eindresultaat?
Nou, ik vind het wel goed. Jammer dat we niet gewonnen hebben.
And so he is sad because he didn't win.
Ben je een beetje kapot?
Evertsen.
Klein beetje wel, ja.
Also.
Ik heb last van mijn handen.
His hands hurt and depressed.
De mensen hier
he'd hoped to win.
Zo enthousiast allemaal.
But it was a third
Het was goed
place
spannend,
for
dus
the Dutch
een
team.
goede race gehad. Het is jammer dat we tweede zijn geworden, maar toch wel tevreden.
Zwaar parcours?
Heel erg zwaar. Ja, niet alleen de knippen, maar ook de zand
It
loopt
was
ontzettend
a
zwaar.
very difficult track to ride,
Ik ben blij
even
dat ik er
for
zo
a
vanaf gebracht
Dutchman.
heb zonder te vallen. De eerste
So
man ben ik
he's
gevallen
happy.
omdat mijn gas bleef hangen en
He didn't
daarna
fall
is het eigenlijk
down
beter
in
gegaan.
the second moto as well.
Het ging niet echt goed in de derde heat, slecht
And then the Belgians,
moeilijk
Dirk
naar voren
Geukens.
komen. Wat is je reactie hierop?
What happened
Ja,
in the
we hadden
third
wel een goede
moto?
start, maar we zijn, ik ben
course we had a good start.
en Mannek heeft me frontaal geraakt. En
And then
met de resultaten
I went
zoals wij
sideways
hebben
and my
gewonnen,
teammate rode straight
ja,
into me.
Het was moeilijk voor dat recht te zetten.
And
op
then
zo'n korte
we
tijd.
lost everything. So it's the Americans again who take here the trophy out of the hands from Mr. Jos Vazen from the FIM, the president of the FIM. But here they are, Damon Bradshaw on the left, Jeff Stanton in the middle and Mike Kiedrowski. They will have to defend their title next year in Australia. And we speak
It
with
was
Jeff
not an
Stanton.
easy win, I think.
No, it wasn't. It came from way back, just barely won.
Did you have a very nervous start in the third heat?
Good start and crashed in the first lap, and then I crashed 2 more times after that.